Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I would clean that bone about as good as anything.
Matt Hayes.
The guys they had last year, terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
Mama know that when you get to camp, you ain't going to see a lot of Big Daddy.
We are 1 week from the decision day. 1 week from finding out what the future of Duval and your Jacksonville Jaguars is under the leadership of James Gladstone and Liam Cohen. With that, get you fired up on a Thursday. The Corona Call as we are in the countdown. This time next week, you're probably, I don't know, putting on some Jag gear and heading down to the Lemon Bar and getting fired up for the draft party. I know I'm fired up. I'm looking at my two guys to the right of me, and you guys can look at all of us in the YouTube stream. And it's an exciting time to find out where this football team is headed next. Will it be defensive tackle, offensive lineman, running back is all of a sudden gaining some steam, wide receiver, you can go on and on, cornerback, where might they go with that first pick overall? So we're definitely going to dedicate some time to it.
Well, listen, if you're a player, I mean, you're excited as well. The anticipation knowing that a week from now, you're going to be, listen, it's been a lot of these kids since Pop Warner, their childhood dream to play in the NFL.
Very true.
You know, so a week from now, a lot of these kids have been playing since they were 4, 5, 6 years old, dreaming of themselves playing in the NFL, going to get that opportunity next week to get drafted. And I know, listen, everybody rolls out the red carpet for the number one picks. But, you know, there are other picks after that, whatever. So you getting drafted in the NFL gives you an opportunity to live out your childhood dream.
There are 17 prospects, Matt, that are going to be, for the here and now, I don't believe there's going to be anybody else that is going to be on the grounds in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. 17 will attend the NFL draft. And we'll find out if any of them are sitting on the sidelines by the time the end of the first round comes to a close up there in beautiful Green Bay.
Yeah, it's I think it's part of the show. And I honestly think sometimes they invite guys they know are not going to get picked in the first round.
I'm telling you, I think it's
because
100%.
That's part of the drama, man.
It is as the world turns portion of their broadcast.
One of those guys being Jalen Milroe.
Yeah,
no one's picking him in the first round. It's just not happening. And if his agent were actually like doing right by him, he'd say, Jalen, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put yourself in that position.
Well, let me give you at least a few other ones that are out there right now. Okay, is Tyler Booker guaranteed to be?
Well, of course not.
A number one draft.
The old lineman from Alabama?
No. I love that guy, but I don't think he's guaranteed. I'm just giving you, I'm going to go down the list right now and give you the 17 prospects that are going to be at the NFL draft. Tyler Booker, and this is in alphabetical order, he is going to be there. Jihad Campbell, also from Alabama. Will Campbell, Abdul Carter. The next guy in alphabetical order is Jackson Dart. Is he going to go high, or is he going to be sitting there? Is he going to be right next to Jalen Milroe going, bro, let's get out of here. Let's find something to do in Green Bay. I don't know. After that, Matthew Golden, then Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Genty, Will Johnson. Is he going to fall because of injury concerns? I doubt it. He's definitely going to go in the first half of the first round, I would think. Ted McMillan. Then you do have Jalen Milroe. You've got Josh Simmons. I don't think there's any question that he's going to be going, even though he does have an injury concern. You start looking at a few other guys. Malachi Starks, outstanding player from Georgia. I would think he's going. Shamar Stewart, we know, is going. Cam Ward and
I don't know that Shamar Stewart's going.
You don't think so? You think it could
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Well,
if these guys actually go on your tape as your resume, he's not a first rounder.
Right, but the if is the
if you go part. If you go on Combine Eyes, then yeah,
the if is the biggest part of that sentence, because Combine Eyes took over. Combine Eyes, when Shamar Stewart was working out, they just started going crazy over size, measurables, what he presents opportunity-wise off the edge. Oh, yeah, he probably will be.
If you're one of these guys that's a questionable if I'm going to be drafted in the first round, what's the advantage of even going?
I don't know, other than just...
like Leon said earlier this week, it was like, well, you used to go to New York City.
Yeah.
Now it's
Now it's Green Bay.
cool.
Yeah. But I think it's just the pomp and circumstance of the event, the red carpet, all eyes on you, being able to bring your family.
Is that a better thing than being totally embarrassed
I don't
on
know.
national TV?
If he's drafted night 2, like I think what we have to arrive at.
Okay, people still go the second day.
Yeah, I was going to say what we have to arrive at is being a second-round draft pick does not suck.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. And so,
I mean, when you put it that way, yeah.
Are we sure Milrose a second-round draft pick, though?
Yeah.
No.
He's the wild card
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
He's the one who said, you know what, free trip. I want him to leave Tuscaloosa.
I've never seen Wisconsin.
Yeah, I want him to get on a plane and go have some fun. But and especially because the family too. Now you didn't do that. You stayed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go because the NFL was cheap. They only paid for 4 tickets.
Okay.
All right. So that's the reason why I didn't go. I had a nest full of family in Orlando that wanted to go to the draft, and I couldn't take them. So I was like, Mama was like, "Look, we're just gonna cook right here, baby."
What you guys eat?
We had a combination between fish fry and crab broil.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got after it pretty good. We did right in my backyard.
all about that.
Right in our backyard.
Hungry right now thinking about it.
Yeah. We need that. We need that in our life. That's for sure. All right. So we got the draft. We've got mocks. We want you guys to jump in. We know that plenty of you do it on a regular basis. All you got to do is hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 641-1010. Jump in on the draft talk and where it's at right now. There's a few things that are worth bringing up today. Matt Miller being one of them, who does a good job of just kind of putting in motion not putting in motion, but putting out there for your consumption what the chatter is like right now, what is being said. And he goes out and he polls a handful of scouts who are going to fly under the flag of anonymous, which is fine. It's not like you shouldn't expect that. Most of these guys, they're not going to put their name on this stuff. But there's a little chatter out there right now about certain guys, and he works with what he's heard from the scouts and basically puts a mock together. So if you're anonymous and you're part of this exercise, are you telling the truth? Or are you still figuring out a way to put something that's a little slimy and not truthful out there just to see if a guy can fall? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, it happens every year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if you're
every year.
anonymous.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course it does. The idea is to manipulate the draft.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do it.
Right.
You get people thinking in their heads. You get the paralysis by analysis.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is is there another GM that's reading Matt Miller's piece that makes you think so-and-so's got a book on him that's not
You'd be
good?
shocked how many do.
You'd
be shocked how many GMs actually read what's out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, or they put somebody in charge to read what's out there. But, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, you don't think that these teams are giving out misinformation on certain players, the guys that they may like?
All day.
They're doing it all day. Absolutely. All day long.
Yeah.
They're all posturing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe any of them.
All right, so
especially this time of the year.
Let's get into it a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the draft. The other thing, we need to bring this up. Make it a that, JJ, because it's definitely worth bringing up.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think it's safe to say synonymous with College Game Day, synonymous with your Saturdays was Lee Corso. And after a incredibly long run, he is going to step away. 38 incredible years. And here's a guy who's up in age. He suffered a stroke. They have done a lot of things to make sure that he was always included at the end of College Game Day when he did the headgear pick. It was appointment viewing for a lot of people. And so anyway, he will be missed, but it's time.
Well, listen, when I was playing, when I lived in Orlando, he did too. So I used to see him all the time out and about.
Cool.
In the Winter Park areas, eating lunch or at dinner near International Drive. So I mean, I knew him. I can't say I knew him well, but I knew him well enough to come up and talk to him for some.
Yeah, he lives in Heathrow, I believe.
Yeah, he lives in Heathrow. Yeah. That's the high rent district, by the way.
It is high rent district.
Very high.
I think he was. If you look at college football, it's no coincidence that it exploded from a regional sport to a national behemoth. Because of the influx of ESPN and what ESPN did as far as this cable giant basically just putting game after game after game on television. And he was a big part of that.
Yeah.
That show became synonymous with college football.
Yeah.
It's not so much now, but it certainly was. It absolutely was. And I think he was. I think when you look back at him and what he did, he was as much of a major part of the sport growing so fast and becoming so popular and becoming the second most popular sport in the United States as anything.
Well, he turns 90 in August. August 30th will be his final college game day, so they'll basically ride him off into the sunset, which is great. And it's also worth pointing out that two guys that are central figures in their sport on ESPN both have battled health problems, Dick Vitale being the other one. And you don't see Dickie V nearly as much, and he was, thankfully, for him and for all the fans that enjoy him, able to come back this year. And who knows what is next for him. But at the same time, these guys have been part of our sports fabric, which is great. And so I do love it. But, yeah, Corso will say goodbye on College Game Day coming up at the end of August. So we need to talk a little Nico here. Let's give him the latest because we were going to bring it up. Nico Iamaleava, who was he went and turned Rocky Top into rock bottom because he left him high and dry, said, I want more money. I'm not playing this and that. And the tune of $4 million was being thrown out there is what he was looking for, the going rate. And it sounds like, Matt, at the very least, the tea leaves are saying UCLA. And for how much?
A lot less than what he wanted from Tennessee.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot less than what he was making at Tennessee last season.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of it is, believe it or not,
it's like my UCO
the coaches
stock right now.
either knowingly or unknowingly banding together and saying, not happening.
Yeah.
Collusion.
Just not happening.
Not
yeah.
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah.
Not Deshaun Foster.
Yeah.
You know,
He said he ain't putting up with that.
he who was trying to explain to everyone where LA is last year
Worst?
during
Yeah.
the Big Ten
Worst media day
Ever.
interview of all time.
It was so funny. And with that, questions?
Yeah, we're University of California, Los Angeles.
We're in Los
That's
Angeles.
located in Los Angeles, California.
Beautiful.
Any question?
Was he high when he did that?
I don't know.
Bro was bad.
Way in over his head.
Bro was bad. Just
A
bad.
little nervous, maybe just a little nervous.
Yeah, because towards the end, they
I ain't
actually
never been
turned
that nervous.
they turned a little bit of a corner as a football team.
How do you not have a script?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have been, And most people would have said, hey, you're coming into something that you probably haven't seen anything like it. Let me at least give you an idea, fair warning, that type of stuff.
Yeah, he'd only been a running backs coach.
Yeah. And I don't know if he had made the trip to Big Ten Media Days.
He's probably done
because
one interview as a coach in his entire life.
what's the difference between Pac-12 Media Days and Big Ten Media Days, attendance-wise, would you say?
It's pretty close, believe it or not. It's not.
Are
Big
you
Ten,
kidding me?
Big Ten doesn't get like 1,000, but it gets I bet it gets 600,
That's what I'm thinking.
700. I bet
and
it gets close to that, yeah.
And then
What's
how much?
SEC at?
How
Like
much?
1,000.
Yeah, but how much did Pac-12 get is what I'm asking.
Oh, I thought you said Big 12.
No,
I mean Big Ten.
Pac-12 versus because they
Back
left.
then, when the Pac-12 was
Well, no,
the
I'm saying
Pac-12.
they left the Pac-12 and went to the Big Ten. So he had
So the Pac-12, when it was a conference, it's still going to be a conference beginning next year. But when it was, what we knew it as, it was a one-day event, and they had it typically like somewhere outside the airport, at like a hotel somewhere, and it was a one-day event, and there was maybe 120 people, 120, 30.
Now, do
people.
you expect him to be able to win at UCLA? I mean, we don't know anything about UCLA, Matt. So
I don't
Where
know.
are they at?
I don't know that. It's going to be hard for anyone to win at UCLA. Just
like
because
a
of the
bowl
way-
game?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
what
you
it
can
is.
get to a bowl
maybe.
game, sure, but I mean the playoff is going to be difficult.
Well, that's not happening.
Well, that's the goal for everyone now. I don't think there's any question that's the goal for everyone.
Yeah, it's a 12-spot tournament, and so they now
14 pretty soon, maybe 16.
Yeah, well, just the simple fact that it opened up like that, every athletic director, and for that matter, every fan base is saying, "Oh yeah, you better be thinking on that level, on those terms." Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, Nico, there's no one to blame but Nico. I mean, as much as we say he got influenced by his dad or his handlers, at some particular point, the decision-making is ultimately his.
Sure.
You know, he's got to say, hey, listen, y'all not only affecting my now money, you're affecting my future money.
Yeah.
All these moves and maneuvers that I'm making.
Better believe
these
that.
scouts and these teams are looking at that. You're not stable.
Yeah.
That's the signal that you're sending to the NFL scouts is that you're not
Excellent
stable.
point.
So if you're not stable, man, you're messing with your future money.
Yeah, excellent
I
point.
mean, you
It's
just got to
true.
take that into consideration.
Was that true, Matt, about Dan Lanning, like sort of putting the word out
Yes.
that he's looking for cash
Yes.
elsewhere?
Yes.
Wow.
They're ruthless right now.
Well, I mean,
that's that honor among thieves. Because
I don't know that
basically
they're
said-
ruthless as much as they're sick of it.
Yeah,
They're sick of it is what they
I
are.
like it.
I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out.
They're sick of it, and like Fran Brown at Syracuse.
Yeah, I saw
You know,
about
his
$2 million.
star receiver was the leading receiver in the ACC last year.
Pena?
Well, yeah, Pena wanted
Great player.
$2 million, and he said, "I'm not paying $2 million for a wide receiver."
Yeah. All right.
And that's a great point because guess what? Jeremiah Smith's not making $2 million a year.
No, and he might have been a guy who wanted to.
Well, maybe not. He
Test
might
the
be
waters.
now. Actually,
All right.
he might
so
be now.
Let's at least stay on that because I do want to compare it to what's happening in the college basketball world because it is eye popping in a lot of ways. But since we are talking college football, we are talking draft. We've got the Cersei Sweet 16, an unbelievable finish yesterday as we pitted 2004 USC against 2024 Ohio State. The final of that game was, just remind everybody,
49-35.
yeah, a 14-point victory, and Ohio State kind of took their lumps on that bat, even though they had a staggering stat sheet for Jeremiah Smith at the end of the game.
He got his.
Yeah, but USC moved on. Today we have
2019 LSU versus 1996 Florida Gators.
I've already had
And we got a statement from Steve Spurrier concerning going up against Joe Burrow.
this, that, and the other.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do.
All right, that's
Are we going
coming.
to save that? Yeah, let's save that. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's-
tease.
That's coming.
That's a very good tease.
Listen, we're at the Golf Club of Southampton last night, and we did rosters and depth charts. LSU 19 versus 96 Florida. They feel pretty good about it right now. They feel pretty good about it. Matter of fact, Supa so fired up over it.
Oh,
he
nice.
thinks the Gators. What's the betting line on this?
The betting line is LSU 7.5.
He jumped
7.5.
over it.
7.5. Over under 70.5.
Wow, I might take
The
the
over.
Gators at 7 and the over.
I love
The way
that.
this tournament's been playing
No
out,
kidding.
that'll
Playing
hit it by
it's playing in
halftime.
the Fiesta Bowl, Arizona.
Yeah.
Wow. How about that? That's a bad omen for the Gators.
Well, I don't know about that because he can call the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale now because they're
that's
much
right,
they were
Glendale.
much more successful in Glendale. It's
true.
The last time they were out there.
true.
All right, so we'll set it up. It's on X at 1010XL, the Cersei Sweet 16 with the full bracket right there. So go vote 96 Florida versus the 2019 Baton Rouge Bengals. Who you got winning that mythical matchup?
From the west side to the beaches.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue.
1010XL,
There's a place on the corner of Cherry Street.
your hometown station.
Need fresh and flavorful lunch? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious, so why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durbin Park, or Butler Point at Chicken Salad Chick.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Mia here. I've got a question for you. Have you ever wondered why buy from Arlington Toyota? I'll tell you why. How about over 800 vehicles in one location? Or how about this reason why? 60-day exchange. That's 60 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. You even get Arlington's lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. Why buy from Arlington? Because right now you can get financing as low as 0% on select new models. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Jacksonville's summer heat is coming in fast. Is your AC ready to handle it? Or will it quit on you on the hottest day of the year, leaving you sweating and stuck with a huge repair bill? Duck Air Conditioning is here to save the day with a free AC system inspection. Our expert techs will make recommendations to ensure your AC system is running in tip-top shape before the heat arrives. Call now, 904-862-6769. Duck Air Conditioning, duckac.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Draft season is here, and so is Mia's Mock Draft Mondays. And this year, we're powered by One Night Taco Stand. Each week, I'll unveil a new set of possible targets for the big cats on the 1010XL social channels and 1010XL.com. Let's talk about it on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true, and after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase.
Do you know someone looking for a fun and rewarding summer job? Join the YMCA team, gain valuable experience, and make a difference in kids' lives. Turn your passion for this community into a fulfilling career at the First Coast YMCA. Now hiring camp counselors, lifeguards, child care leaders, and membership experience team. Every single person on the dedicated YMCA staff plays a role in making the Y a welcoming and vital resource for our community. Find your career at the Y at fcymca.org.
Equal opportunity employer.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Are you ready for some exciting football action? Your Jacksonville Sharks take on the Massachusetts Pirates Saturday, April 19th. Get family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. Don't miss the unforgettable Frisbee Dogs and keep an eye out for the Easter Bunny. A fun night for the kids. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. The Jacksonville Sharks are 3-0 and ready to make it 4-0 this weekend as your Jacksonville Sharks take on the Massachusetts Pirates this Saturday. Get our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card, all for just $100. Don't miss the unforgettable Frisbee Dogs and keep an eye out for the Easter Bunny. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. And go Sharks!
Go Sharks! Okay, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beaches Dermatology are reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Spring is here, and that means more time outside. Grabbing the clubs for your tea time? Bring the screen. Heading out on the boat? Bring the screen. Headed to the beach? Definitely bring the sunscreen. All in all, make sure sunscreen is included in your outdoor activities. If you have any concerns now, give Beaches Dermatology a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
On play action, Manning across the middle and intercepted. It's Brown with the interception. Nico Brown sets up Florida. Left side, Graham. Ball freak caught midair by Anton Lott. Lott to the end zone for another touchdown. Can you believe it?
Burrow dodges the rush. Going for Jefferson again. It's another touchdown. Burrow deep again, on target again. Jefferson again. Touchdown again.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
You can tell how many points were scored in that second highlight or the last round of highlights that JJ just aired. Sean McDonough normally loses his voice. A little squeak enters into his play-by-play when something exciting happens. But they scored so many flipping times. It was he needed to keep himself awake with another touchdown. That was an unbelievable and thorough beatdown of the Oklahoma Sooners, courtesy of the Joe Burrow-led LSU Tigers. You had the Gators with their highlights. 1996, you heard names that were familiar to Gators and Tico Brown and Antoine Lott. And you now have the 96 Florida Gators in the Cersei Sweet 16 mythical matchup against the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers of 2019. The most prolific offensive team we have seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right, so set this matchup up, young sirs.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, there was a quote by they asked Steve Spurrier about having to go up against Joe Burrow. This is what Steve Spurrier said. He said, "Well, Joe Burrow, hell of a player, Heisman Trophy winner. Seems like we got one of those on our sideline as well. Let's line up, see what happens."
Oh, that's an excellent.
That sounds like they'll
What a
spurt off,
great
doesn't it?
outlook.
Yeah.
We asked Coach O about the matchup as well.
And I'm glad you didn't have that route for Salafusa when never got past number 1.
Sounds like Eddie O, too.
Yep, those are quotable quotes right there, man.
So the coaches are all in, baby.
This is the best coaching matchup for sure.
Absolutely. Coaches are all
quotes-wise,
in.
And
imaginable.
If Florida loses, it's Steve-O's just going to say, well, man, we did a bad job as coaches. Didn't put them in position to make plays. All right, give it to us.
All right, give it to it. 1996 Florida Gators, 12-1, SEC national champions. They play in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, also known as the Swamp. All right. They're led by head ball coach Steve Spurrier. All right. Carl Franks is offense coordinator. Bob Stoops is defense coordinator. The offense is called the Fun and Gun. Defense is 4-3. Team is led by Heisman Trophy winner Danny Wonderful Warford.
Yeah.
Ike Hilliard and Riddell Anthony. Their pathway to the championship is that Florida in their first 2 games, they outscored their opponents 117-35. The next victory is against Tennessee, 35-29. They beat Kentucky 65-0. They beat LSU, number 12 LSU, 56-13. They beat number 16 Auburn 51-10. They beat Georgia 47-7. Then
say that again.
They beat Georgia 47-7. 47-7. Then heartbreak. They lose to number 2 Florida State, 24-21. Then they beat number 11 Alabama in the SEC championship game, 45-30. And then they sought revenge in the national championship game where they beat Florida State 52-20. Danny Wonderful at that particular time, he had 3,600 yards passing, 39 touchdowns. Ike Hilliard and Riddell Anthony combined for 2,933 yards and 28.
That's doing work.
And 28 touchdowns combined. That's your Florida Gators.
That's doing work right there. Now let's turn the page and go to the record books.
Let's turn the page. We got the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers. 15-0 SEC champions and national champions. They play as Tiger Stadium, also known as Death Valley. Their head coach is Ed Ogeron. They run a pro spread offense, and they run a 3-4 defense. Team is led by Heisman Trophy winner Joe Cool Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. Their pathway to the championship is they beat number 9 Texas 45-38. They beat number 7 Florida 42-28. Beat number 9 Auburn 23-20. Number 3 Alabama 46-41. In the SEC championship game, they beat Georgia 37-10. And in the semifinals, they beat Oklahoma 63-28. And then they beat Clemson in the national championship game 42-25. LSU at 2020, the next year in the NFL draft, had 5 first-round picks. We picked one of them, by the way.
Oh, he was tremendous.
Oh, he was outstanding.
We might hear from him later in the show.
Absolutely.
I don't want to give it away.
But overall, they have 14 players selected.
In case you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, that'd be one Caleb on Chase.
Yeah, that's right.
An unbelievable pick
Yes.
from Dave Caldwell.
Now, overall, they have 14 players selected in the draft that year.
That's drafting 101 right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Just don't get that.
Can't beat that. So Joe Burrow, in 2019, he completed 76% of his passes. He threw for 5,671 yards and 60 That's 60 touchdowns.
5,600 yards in the college football world.
Yes.
Okay?
Not only that, it's 60 without 4 playoff games like they get now.
Right. They played 15 games.
6-0.
Right? 15 games, correct?
No, they played 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 games.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson combined for 3,300 yards receiving and 38 touchdowns. LSU that year scored 726 points. Only the opponent scored 328. That's your matchup.
All right, so just going back to the Oklahoma game, that LSU, I'm with Big Vic next door and a bunch of Cajuns, okay? Just a bunch of crazy Cajuns, and they were all fired up, and they all came rolling in for the holidays and then stayed over for this big game. They scored 49 points in the first half against Oklahoma. And in 2019, that wasn't a bad Oklahoma team, okay? That wasn't a terrible Oklahoma team. It might have been a bad defense, but that was a pretty dang good offense. And Lincoln Riley just kept getting them into the college football playoff. But for whatever reason, have they ever notched a college football playoff win? I don't believe they have, Oklahoma.
The Sooners.
Yeah.
I don't think they have. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. So they were trailing 49-14 when they went into the locker room and ended up losing 63-28.
I mean, they won a BCS game, a national championship game.
Yeah, but like I said, have they ever won a college football playoff game? I don't think so. They've been in some good ones. This one was not good for them. This one was not good. All right.
Should have beat Georgia, but lost in overtime. So, a lot of should.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl game that they played in with Baker was one of the best games ever that they played. All right, so there you go. It's set up 641-1010. You guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Who wins the mythical matchup in the Cersei Sweet 16? 96 Florida, 19 LSU. Who you got and why? We would love to hear it. And let's get back to at least some of the pay for play that's going on. We mentioned that Nico, at least the report is that he'll go to UCLA, and he's taken a big cut in pay from what he was hoping to be $4 million is now at least out there in, I guess you could say, it's not reported, it's out there as being less than $2 million. Meanwhile, the NCAA basketball world is now looking at a $10 million club for these basketball teams that are putting together powerhouse rosters, and players are sticking around in the college game instead of turning pro. Not all of them. We said goodbye to Knipple yesterday. I'm going to miss him. Alex Condon, he's gone as well. But there are guys that are sticking around. Nigel Pack left Kansas State, signed a 2-year NIL deal that paid him $400,000 per season to play at Miami. That was 3 years ago. Now you're looking at guys that are leaving and getting guaranteed in the $3 million plus range, the guys that are at the top. So we'll get into that coming up as well. It is XL Primetime. Let's unveil our mock drafts coming up next.
In the jungle, the only way a lion survives is not by acting like a king, by being the king.
1010XL.
Are you ready to step up to luxury?
Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Visti.
With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist.
At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. So visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads.
Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway for all your outdoor living needs. Let them show you how a durable paver driveway can enhance your home. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Been in a car crash?
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 17, 1983, MLB pitching legend Nolan Ryan of the Houston Astros struck out his 3,500th batter in a game against the San Francisco Giants.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Interest rates have plummeted. It's time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here, and if you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of just days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loan. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. Do it all by going to loanpronto.com or call 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Aaron Rodgers has said nothing. Okay? That just happened. Popping on Pat McAfee. Everyone was just looking forward to it. It was hyped, and they were out there en masse waiting and wondering if Aaron would reveal anything, and he did not. The little mini quote that you had, JJ, as far as what he did say, is that right now he's not making any decisions whatsoever. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, right? He just didn't say anything to any effect.
Yeah, I don't have a quote about that.
Yeah.
I was just saying he didn't make it. He didn't say anything about switching teams. No.
Yeah.
Or signing with any teams. No.
Yeah. So we were talking about his version of the story with Aaron Glenn in New York is when he was let go by New York. Is that Aaron Glenn meets with him? He comes in and basically says, "Hang on one second." Ask the GM to come in, and they ask him, "Are you committed to playing football?" He says, "Yes." And they said, "We're moving in a different direction." And so they, I guess, wanted to do that in person. I don't know whether that was something, an underlying tone that they were trying to send message-wise through him to the rest of the football team, but they were happy to cut that contract and cut ties with Aaron Rodgers.
So, I mean, he flew in for them to tell him that we're not going to use you anymore?
Apparently.
Okay. Now, that's been done to me. Mario did me like that.
Yeah.
He called me, told me to come in. Yeah, my good friend. Called me, told me to come in. I said, Mario, if you're going to fire me, bro, don't have me drive all the way down there and you fire me. Just go and tell me you're going to let me go.
It's just business, bro. That's all.
I ain't take it personal. That's why I told him. That's why we're still friends.
Right, exactly. Just straight up.
There you go.
Yeah. But
I don't know if I could have done that, by the way. I don't know if I could have said, yeah, I'm not taking it personal.
Aaron
Maybe
Rodgers,
he felt like he wanted to do it in person as a friend.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm talking about Leon.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
Not Aaron Glenn.
I'm with Leon. Leon just go ahead and tell me right
bro,
now.
it was a weekend. It was a Saturday, bro. I'm not riding.
Saturday?
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
I don't need to see you eye to eye.
Long
on
drive,
this
too, in that traffic. You don't want to do anything.
30 minutes, bro.
Yeah. Hell with that.
But going back to their eye to eye, they may have wanted to do it because Aaron Rodgers has a flair for the dramatic. That's really how he's kind of operated here of late. He's called a lot of shots for a lot of teams that he just walks in the door, says, "I need this, this, and this, and this," and they did it. And then obviously with the injury, we never truly know how good he would have been up in New York over a 2-year period. Towards the end of last year, he really started to flash and show the Aaron Rodgers of old, but it was going to end ugly no matter
it's
what.
Still a move to fly him out there and say, "Oh, by the way, you're fired."
Yes, and
anybody who's had that happen to him, it's not a fun thing.
No, I get it. I can think of a story locally that is the same thing, but it's just at some point Aaron Rodgers has called a lot of shots, and there may be somebody that wants to give it back to him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not impossible.
It's called karma.
Yeah, it may be coming
law.
back to him a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love watching the cat play. He was some kind of fun to watch when he was Aaron Rodgers before the Achilles. That's for sure. All right. So, is there an Aaron Rodgers in this draft? I don't know. Especially at the quarterback position, we really don't know. And we mentioned earlier that Matt Miller put out a good piece where he basically took intel from scouts and help put together a draft board based on what he was hearing. And he laid out the parameters. The scouts are unaffiliated with the teams. They were assigned to basically putting together a draft board. Who would you select for this team? And they, of course, come in anonymously. And you can imagine at the top of the board, not a whole lot is left up to mystery. Cam Ward is the number 1 pick overall. But after that, the Cleveland Browns select Travis Hunter. And it was a projected pick from an AFC South area scout that put Travis Hunter in a Cleveland Browns uniform, even though they don't have their quarterback situation figured out. They said, hey, basically, they've got old man Flacco. They've got Kenny Pickett. They want to get a special guy, and they go and get Travis Hunter. After that, the New York Giants get Abdul Carter from an AFC North area scout, making that decision. They said it was an easy decision. And then Will Campbell goes to the New England Patriots next in Matt Miller's draft using the area scouts. And Will Campbell, they basically take a look at it and say, hey, he's a high floor prospect. I trust his feet and hand use. Do you, Leon? He's a pretty good.
At times, in particular, he uses them well. Mm-hmm. I mean, all this short arm theory. Listen, can you get your hands inside? Can you bend your knees? And can you stop a man?
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jaguars were next on the board, and this was from an AFC North area scout, and they select, as many have, Mason Graham for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And their quote is, there's no need to hem and haw. Jacksonville needs interior defensive line help. the evaluator said, pure and simple. All right. So with that as the backdrop, let's do our first round. Actually, let's kind of at least give me the guys at the top, Leon, if you have it, where the order that they went before you got to that 5th pick overall. And then all we really have to do after that is just name the prospects that you have Jacksonville taking in your most recent mock.
Well, I actually traded back.
Okay.
All right.
You made a move.
Yeah, I made a move because they actually in my draft, the Saints moved up. They wanted to move up in our position at 5 to take Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
All right. So I moved back to 9. All right. So I moved back to 9, and I took. By the way, I picked up an extra 2 and a 3 for moving back to 9. So I moved back to 9 to take Derek Harmon, defensive tackle of Oregon.
Good player.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly how. It's funny. All of our drafts, they're probably a little unrealistic in some respects.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good player, and he should be there. I don't know whether that would be reaching at that position or not.
At 9?
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of reach.
Low reach?
Yeah.
He's still a good player.
I stayed. I didn't trade back at all in any of mine.
Right. I tried
did.
to like we're going to do these daily.
I had offers all over the place. For
and I even took some pictures of some of the offers that I got. Some of them pretty good. So we'll bounce back and forth. We'll do a draft. Leon did one with trades today. You can do one with trades tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Who'd you get?
All right. So 5, I took Will Campbell.
Okay. And who went in
offensive
front of you,
lineman at
just so I have it?
LSU. There were, believe it or not, there was Shedeur did not get selected among the first 4. Jackson Dart did not get selected among the first 4. So it was what you'd think. The process of the, let's see, it was Ted was the only surprise of the 4.
Okay.
Before it was Ted, it was Travis Hunter, it was Abdul Carter, and of course it was Cam.
Mm-hmm.
So then came the Jags. And if that plays out how it sounds, that's probably what this. I mean, they're going to take either Will Campbell or Mason Graham would be my guess if it plays out like that.
All right, so
or trade back.
Yeah. All right, so I've
got Will Campbell at
5th
5.
pick overall. Will Campbell. All right, so it's interesting. One of the ones that I had. This is Pro Football Network. Plenty of you guys have different ones that you shoot to us, and this is an easy one. You can go to any others as well and shoot some mocks our way. We got a few that we want to get to, but Cleveland, just in this one early mock that I did, they offered pick 33, pick 67, and next year's 1st, 2nd, and 4th. I'm like, what is going on? After they had already made a pick of Abdul Carter, and it just seemed a little crazy. Anyway, I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and take that trade with the next one. But that seemed like a rich ransom that they were given to get back in.
Wow.
Because in the one that I did, Cam Ward went first. They took Abdul Carter, which meant if you're looking at them trying to get back in there, they might have wanted to get that quarterback. Hard to say. Travis Hunter went next to New York. Will Johnson went to the New England Patriots, and then I took Mason Graham after that. Ashton Genty, Will Campbell, those guys came off the board after Mason Graham. All right, so hop to your second.
All right, my 36th pick, I took Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle out of Michigan. So I got 2 bigs.
Okay.
I got a 3 and a 1.
You know, it was funny. One of them had Kenneth Grant popping up, and I really liked the idea of having both of those guys, but it was tough to go that route.
All right, my 36, I took Kenneth Grant. So I got Will Campbell and Kenneth Grant, my first 2 picks. 2 bigs. 2 bigs.
I went Trey Amos.
2 football players, by the way.
No, they're good, but they are right next to one another, and they profited off of each other, and I don't know whether they could do the same thing in NFL uniforms, but not too many people would be upset with that. If you had,
I got a legit 335-pound one.
Right.
Okay, one technique guy. And I got a guy that can play left tackle or guard.
Right. He can be kicked inside, and you immediately fix or you help both sides of the offense and defensive lines. So no objection there whatsoever.
By the way, I did the research this morning very early. Took hours. All the guys in the draft are, in fact, football players.
Not all of them. You should ask Leon about that. Not all of them, bro.
I am happy, though. That
in fact, a large number of them are not actually football players.
You know, it shows commitment, though, JJ. Okay?
Somebody had to.
Yeah.
I've been hearing it said ad nauseum.
Leon, are all these guys in this draft football players?
It shows commitment.
You'll know when the pass come on, baby.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping, like, there are actual football players here. There's just not enough of the good ones that are here. Okay, that's really as simple as it gets.
There's very few, actually.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm not, because there's not enough in key positions. That's for sure. All right, get to your next one, Big Sir.
All right. Well, my next pick is a pick that I got from trading back from 5 to 9. So I got a 43 pick. All right. So my pick 43, I'm taking the guard out of Ohio State, Donovan Jackson. I took the guard of Ohio State.
I like Donovan Jackson. When you start taking a look, because you were on the other side of the football to begin with, and then what did you go? What order did you go in? You went your first and second round picks.
Oh, my first second round pick. I took 2 D tackles.
Okay, all right. So, and then getting back on that side of the ball with the Donovan Jackson, not bad at all, because now you've lined up 2 interior defensive tackles and then one guy that you think can come in and challenge interiorly. Donovan Jackson's a good player.
All right.
Who are you going
My third pick, I took Alec Iamaleava, wide receiver, Stanford. The guy who had 10 catches for 240 against Travis Hunter 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
I do not remember that.
Really?
I remember
that. Yeah, I do not.
That was in that classic, back and forth game. He's a guy that has deep speed. He's a big guy. He's probably 6'2", 220. He's a big dude, and he can run. Kind of overshadowed because Stanford's terrible, but he's a really good player.
All right. I kind of like if he was able to do that, why are we not hearing more love about him? Or
he's got a 2nd/3 round grade in the draft.
Yeah. It's funny because you're sitting there, you're trying to figure out exactly which of these guys are going to be, and they're not even diamonds in the rough. If they're second round picks, they're good players. Coach says it all the time. After you get past maybe 16 or 17 in the first round, then 18 to 45 or 18 to 50, a lot of them have the same, very close to the same grade. I like going to NFL.com for their draft profile and grade, and quite often you see, if I'm somewhere around 6.3, 6.25, something like that, the deeper you get into the draft, those are a lot of the guys that are in the same exact pile. All right, Big Sirs, move on.
All right, at number 70, I got the wide receiver out of TCU. Was it Jack Beach? Yeah, I got Jack Beach out of TCU, wide receiver, number 70.
What is it? What
Beck?
Beck.
Yeah. Do you have his I'm trying to think of what his measurables are. Pull him up.
LSU kind of played him at tight end initially. He was like an H-back.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's similar to a guy that I picked later, who I think is going to be a really good pro, and I was shocked that he was still available. By the way, Iamaleava against Travis Hunter, I was wrong. He had 13 catches for 294.
Okay, if he could
3
do
touchdowns.
that. Now, this was, by the way, when T. Hunter was just stepping into that spotlight.
Just everybody was saying he was the best corner in the game. Even last year, even in 2023, they were saying he's the best corner in the game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that game. Stanford came back. They were down like what?
Yeah, down big. It was like 35-7 or something.
Yeah, and they worked them in the second half. I remember that.
I remember the game. I just remember that guy doing that against Travis Hunter.
Yeah, he beat him up pretty good.
So we'll continue this into the 3 o'clock hour, 641.
You don't want to hear my 4th pick?
Yeah.
Because it's another big, baby.
All right.
My 88 pick, Dylan Fairchild, guard, Georgia.
Okay. All right. There's a couple of them along that offensive line for Georgia that I like. I like the mullet better than him, but that's fine. If Tate Ratledge or it doesn't matter. Either one of those guys.
3 bigs out of the first 4 picks.
Yeah. Oh, shocking.
I'm serious about the bigs now.
I know. We'll find out whether it works. Because at some point, this team's got to score. They may be able to block everybody, but they got to score some points. All right, let's keep it rolling into the 3 o'clock hour. We'll get back to our mocks, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can bring some of your choices our way.
Jacksonville's home for Florida Gators baseball.
In an Easter weekend series, Florida and Mississippi State go head-to-head on the Hill in Starkville. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon on 10:10 a.m.
When you think of America, you think baseball, cookouts, military, and pride for our country. At Garber Auto Mall, we're proud to carry every American-made truck at one location. Ford, Chevy, GMC, Ram, and Jeep. With the largest inventory selection in North Florida, you can shop with one salesperson. Garber Auto Mall is proud to support our country, our military, and our community. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. Garber Auto Mall. Proud to be American.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you thinking about a pool for your home? Blue Haven Pools is Jacksonville's largest pool builder. They've built pools for over 20,000 satisfied families since 2000. It's never been easier to design the perfect pool for your home, family, and budget. Call Blue Haven Pools today at 904-620-0090 to get a free in-home estimate for your in-ground pool, or visit bluehaven.com. Don't let another summer pass by without a pool. Join thousands of happy Jacksonville pool owners in a Blue Haven pool.
For over 5 decades, a true American band. This is America. Encore Tour 2025, an unforgettable evening with America. April 23rd, Florida Theater. On sale now at floridatheater.com. America, live in concert. Produced by Outback Presents.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators Podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Are you ready for some exciting football action? Your Jacksonville Sharks take on the Massachusetts Pirates Saturday, April 19th. Get family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. Don't miss the unforgettable Frisbee Dogs and keep an eye out for the Easter Bunny. A fun night for the kids. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. 700.
Prosser here. The Jacksonville Sharks are 3-0 and ready to make it 4-0 this weekend as your Jacksonville Sharks take on the Massachusetts Pirates this Saturday. Get our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card, all for just $100. Don't miss the unforgettable Frisbee dogs and keep an eye out for the Easter Bunny. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. And go Sharks! Go Sharks!
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. As he's about 2 months into his position as Executive Vice President of the Jaguars, Tony Baselli sat down with Jaguars senior writer John Osher to break down how much he's enjoyed his new role and how all hands are on deck to improve the future of the franchise.
You know, obviously, the things I figured I'd love, I do love. Come to this place every day, working in football, talking about the thing and focusing on the thing I love, the game of football, and trying to make this organization the best with everyone else in this building. And then the entire organization, whether it's on the football side or the business side, working together, that's something I was looking forward to. And I would say it's met my expectations, if not exceeded them.
The Jaguars are officially 1 week away from their first draft selection under the new coaching staff and front office. It's 78 degrees at 3:01. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Powerful 218-pounder. Looking to throw it in trouble. Wrapped up and down in the arms of K'Lavon Chaisson.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
K'Lavon Chaisson, the play on the defensive side of the ball for the LSU Tigers as they started to put together, well, the finishing touches on what was an unbelievable season. Both sides of the ball for those Baton Rouge Bengals, but in particular on the offensive side, it was a prolific, record-setting bunch. Welcome into the 3 o'clock hour. It's XL Primetime. The reason why you're hearing a highlight that includes K'Lavon Chaisson, no, not because Dave Caldwell fell in love with him after that game and drafted him 20th overall. It's because he was part of a national championship winning team that Leon has put together, pitted against the 96 Florida Gators in his mythical matchup in the Cersei Sweet 16. We need, give us the quarter poll and the halftime score, sir.
Okay, well, first quarter score was 14-10 LSU. Right now, we're in the middle of the second. It's 24-23 LSU.
Ooh, wow. Ooh. I'm Romo in that one. I like that.
24-23.
That's right.
Florida missed an extra point. What happened? Field goals.
Yeah.
Field goals.
All right.
And here's the deal, okay? Florida's got some star power on that side of the ball, too. And you take a look at the defense that Bobby Stoops coached up and brought to the ball field that day.
We're about ready to let Javon Curse loose, baby.
In the desert. Okay? All right.
Leon keeps checking the wire for the score.
I am.
I do like the fact that he's paying attention to the stat sheet, and that's this is the way most of them broke this game down as far as what it was going to take to win. Both offenses had star power, different ways of doing it, but the arm and accuracy of both Burrow and Danny Wonderful.
Plus, we got Manor High School's own Freddie Wary out there on the perimeter.
That's right.
Locking up Jamar Chase. Just don't forget that, man.
Yeah, I took all that in consideration.
And Anthony Lott.
Yeah.
Reigns High
Long
School's
arms.
own Anthony Lott.
All
locking
that
up Jefferson on the other side.
Hey, listen, I had to put some star power on the old school because most people when they watch the games now, I call them the Twitter babies. They don't think football played after 2000. So I had to give the old school players some props.
All right, so all you have to do is go to X at 1010XL. You can vote. It is Go Tigers, GEAUX, or Go Gators. Hashtag either one of them. Who would you have winning this football game? And you can definitely jump in on the conversation. Right now, it is extremely close, as you might imagine, because they know how good that LSU team was back in 2019. But surprisingly not, the Gators are right now winning the poll 55% of the vote going the Gators.
But the poll doesn't typically match up with the results.
Again,
is what
yes,
we've figured
you're
out.
right. These are not the most reasonable people. Okay. But all you got to do, listen, you could come up with an argument that Florida had both sides of the ball back in 1996.
Yeah.
Spurrier's offense took over the SEC, changed the SEC in so many ways. And then defensively, what did he say? After they got paddled in 1995, he says, I looked around, found the best defensive coordinator that was out there, offered him a job, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Bob Stoops came in and took over.
And the funny thing is I think Worf had 39 touchdown passes that year, and that was like considered just ridiculous.
Yeah, unheard of.
Ridiculous.
When Leon was throwing some of the stats out, I'm like, wow.
And Burrow had 21 more touchdown passes.
And 5,600 yards passing. Again, there was only one game that they played back then compared to what we are talking about now, but still.
Right.
It's just an insane number. All right, so you guys stay on that, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We have been talking about the mythical matchups. We also have been talking about reality in the college football world where Nico may have to settle for more than a 50% pay cut when it's all said and done, okay? He just took $1 and turned it into 50 cents or less. And the tax man hadn't even gotten a hold of it yet. But that's what happened. At least that's the word, is that when he left Rocky Top and went looking for riches elsewhere, that he may have settled on becoming a UCLA Bruin and taking less than $2 million per year instead of the $4 million he was hoping for.
It's a sign of, again, I'm not saying coercion or collusion. I'm just saying coaches will protect each other. And they're at the point now where they're fed up with what's going on.
Right.
They're fed up with the player movement. It's not the money. They don't care about the money. It's the player movement.
Right.
It's the free player movement is what's getting them.
Yeah.
And that's what they're protecting each other over. And that's why a guy like Dan Lanning reached out to Tennessee and said, your quarterback's shopping himself to us. And if he's shopping himself to us, he's shopping himself to others as well. So I think that the best for all coaches involved would have been if nobody offered him a scholarship. But that's not going to happen. Somebody will obviously offer him one.
Right. And we can always think, hey, and in the case of collusion, the whole idea is that everyone's going to agree to do something and they operate collectively, and that we know is a no-no when they do have a players association that's representing the other side. But in this case, all they need to do is talk to one another. No one's coming up and going, raise your hand that you're not going to do something, because you know
someone will.
Exactly. Like we said, you don't think for a moment that, well, Deshaun Foster, since we are using UCLA as an example, he needs as much talent on his football field as he possibly can get. And Lincoln Riley definitely wants to make sure that he can turn the corner offensively and defensively. And so those two teams, they were high bidders for his services. It may not have gone north of $2 million like they were hoping, but still.
No, but they
both had to be.
They had also just, swooped in and grabbed Joey Aguilar from App State, who had a great career at App State, to be their quarterback. He won the job in spring practice.
Yeah.
And now Nico slides in there. Now it's his job. Now if you're Joey Aguilar, what are you thinking?
Right.
I mean, you got to get out of there. Do you not? You got to get out of there.
And this is how people get hosed, left and right. Just because you got one guy that you think has pledged to you that you're going to get the loyalty coming back your way. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. All right, 641-1010. This is off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. One of our dudes coming in, Joe from the PVB. Genty and offensive line are his choices. Fixing offense is a priority. He has Ashton Genty with that 5th pick overall. Then he goes Donovan Jackson, 36, which is one of the picks that you had, Leon. Darius Alexander, one of the picks that I've got. He has him 70th. Elijah Arroyo, the tight end out of Miami, with his 88th pick overall. Charles Grant, who's getting some love. A smaller school, William & Mary, offensive tackle, definitely getting some consideration. And then he drops down with the rest of his draft, working the cornerback, defensive tackle, safety, a handful of guys you definitely are looking to improve this football team. So let's get back to ours. And you guys, 6'4", 110, jump in with some of the ones that you have. We'd love to hear them as far as some of the choices that you got. All right, Big, where did we leave it off? Did you reveal your fourth rounder?
Yeah, I revealed my 70th pick, wide receiver from Tennessee. So I got a 75th pick from moving down from 5 to 9. So I'm taking the cornerback from Iowa State, Darian Porter.
Okay.
All right, so who are your four now? Who are your 4 picks?
Our 4 picks are Derek Harmon, Kenneth Grant, Donovan Jackson, Jack Beck, and Darian Porter.
All right, those are your 5 picks. Who are your 4 picks?
I've lost track here. All right, mine right now, this is crazy. I just did something stupid. Mason Graham is my 5th pick overall. My 36th pick, Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. Emory Jones, the opposite of Will Campbell on that LSU front. I took him 70th overall, 88th, Ozzie Trapillo. Another starter, interior, Boston College. I can see him as a guard. So anyway,
something I don't want to hear from Gladstone, by the way, Thursday night.
Yeah.
I think I just did something stupid. I don't want to hear that in the draft room, Joe.
Probably not.
Because listen, I just lost the second half of my draft board. If he loses the second half of his, we are in trouble. It's a very good point.
All right, so my 5th at 107 is Harold Fannin Jr., the tight end / flex from Bowling Green, who's phenomenal.
Okay.
He's a guy that he's not going to be a tight end, but he's more of like the Kyle Pitts type flex. He's like Evan Ingram is what he is.
Well, yeah, it's so funny because we're all trying to figure out whether or not what's going to go down with this football team. Is Brenton Strange going to deliver on that? And he's more of an inline guy. At least that's how they see him versus Evan Ingram. But he still can get loose and get out there. Second half of the season, he had some decent numbers, but they're still trying to look for that dynamic set of tight ends.
Yeah, I think it's you saw what could be with Evan Ingram, and I think every NFL team would like an athletic / flex guy out there that can be a mismatch.
All right, I have a mock draft simulator problem right now, so you two guys keep bouncing back and forth.
All right.
Because listen, I had a lot of simulations in my head that were really, really good. They're gone now. The heck.
All right. So my 88th pick is Elijah Arroyo.
Okay. So that's the big tight end.
He's the same type of tight end.
Yep. Very similar. Flex type guy.
Yep.
It's another Kane pick for you, huh?
No, well, we need one.
It's a Kane thing.
I saw him there. I couldn't resist.
All right. My pick at 126 is Jack Sawyer, the edge from Ohio State. I think this team needs to do something about getting another edge on this team that can get to the quarterback.
And at that number in the draft, you get what looks like the all-American, hard-working, overachieving, finds the ball somehow, some way type of guy.
He's not going to break all the combine records, of course. But, I mean, he could develop into a guy that could, he gets you 5, 6, 7 sacks.
I'm just curious if how he is viewed off the ball. He doesn't have the speed that you need to be off the ball.
I don't think he's an edge. I think he's more of a DN. He's going to have to grow into that position.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to get quicker, stronger, all that stuff. But he can't grow, unfortunately.
No, he can't. All right, at 107, I'm taking the offensive tackle out of Kansas, Logan Brown.
Okay. All right. That's another guy that's gotten decent numbers. The grade, it's in that 6.25 range, something like that. And so, okay. All right. So you have added a couple of linemen in your draft.
Where are you? You still drafting again? You're still redrafting?
I can't catch up.
All right. Leon, who's your 126?
My 126 is
I was so happy with what I
Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer is my 126.
All right. My 142 is Isaac Tesla, the receiver from Arkansas, another burner. So I'm adding speed on the outside.
What size is he? Because I was looking at a couple of those quick dudes, the one up in Oregon as well, and I need a little size in my receiving core.
He's
DeAndre Brown,
6'4", 214.
Okay, all right.
Is that good enough for you? See, I've added 2 big guys that can run.
Okay, all right. I like that. If that manifests itself, I like it.
All right, my 142 is Dylan Sampson, running back, Tennessee.
So you did go to the running back room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think it's the most important thing right now.
I don't either, but I just kind of feel like I don't really like to say this. I kind of feel like we might have seen what Etienne's at his ceiling. I think we've seen his ceiling.
He is. And it shouldn't be lost on anybody that dude left the Atlantic Coast Conference with more carries than anybody else.
No.
And he was
And I've said this
prolific.
over and over. One of my favorite college players of all time.
Yeah, he is.
Not only that, I think we might have seen the ceiling of Tank, too. I think we've seen both their ceilings.
I'm not going to say that. No way. I don't see how you can when you're talking about a very average to below average offensive line. I don't think you can call either one of these guys, even Etienne, hitting his ceiling with his poor run blocking group that has been here. I don't think you can say
I don't disagree with that, and it's not. I guess I'm not. I don't want it to sound negative because I'm not being negative about it. I just think we've seen the ceiling of both of them.
Okay.
It doesn't mean they can't be productive in this offense.
Right.
I just think you're not going to get more than what you've already seen from either one of those guys. They are what they are.
Okay.
And the question is, are you going to re-sign Etienne?
No.
Right. I don't think you're going to.
You're
Right.
not.
Right. So if you could get someone later,
I just meant
then it's
that we haven't, we have seen them operate behind a mid to below average offensive line.
100% agree. Yes.
So that's the only reason I was saying that. But you are correct when you say Etienne is close to that many hits, that many carries, that many.
I think they both are.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that for Tank.
Probably has more carries than Etienne or close to it.
No.
He carried the ball a lot at Auburn.
Yeah, he did.
A lot.
Etienne.
But not as much in the pro game, obviously. All right, so my 182 is Zoff Frazier, the corner from Texas San Antonio. I wanted to go corner earlier, but there just wasn't anyone that was good enough for me to get off need.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, my 182 is Cal McCord, quarterback, Syracuse.
There have been a couple names that we have heard a bunch in our mocks, and that he's one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And you guys like.
I'd love that, by the way. I would love that.
Yeah, and I do think that you have to look at the future and say, hey, we can't just ignore the quarterback position. We got to have a plan going forward. So.
Plus, you get a guy that's got a big dude with a big arm.
Yeah.
Get him in there in camp. Whether you're trying to or not, put a little pressure on him, man.
He changed a lot of people's minds with his work in the orange as opposed to the scarlet and gray.
Yeah.
He really did.
It's unfortunate because I think had Ohio State kept him, they would have won the national title with him.
Yeah.
And he would have had a huge season, and he'd have been a much higher draft
He'd have been
pick.
viewed much differently.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it.
All right. I got at 194, I got Isaiah Bond, wide receiver from Texas and Alabama. Again, you could tell where I think the key is on this offense.
Mm-hmm.
The replacement, the offensive line, the receiver. The receivers, I don't think we're giving that enough focus right now because they're not that good at receiver right now.
Well, they added a guy in free agency that they paid a decent amount to, on a 1-year deal. And after that, no, him and Gabe will be gone.
Right.
And so it is an empty room. It's a one-man band right now with what BTJ has done.
All right, my 194 is probably my favorite tour as a kid, Tonka Hemingway.
Nice Tonka truck.
Offensive tackle, South Carolina.
That's a great offensive tackle name.
Did you like the front loader or the actual truck?
No. But listen, the Tonka truck was actually my first bicycle because
the trunk.
Yeah, because I used to put
you got to be a dump truck.
It was a dump truck. I used to put my knee in the dump truck and push off.
Nice.
And ride with
There's
it.
nothing else other than a Tonka.
Yeah, a Tonka joint. It's the best.
So the Tonka front loader is pretty good.
Like you can go front end loader, but you ain't doing nothing in your backyard without a dump truck.
I know you're not.
Okay, you gotta have that.
I don't mind the front loader.
Yeah.
All right, my final pick is Willie Lampkin. I'm going all the way back to home on this one. Guard, North Carolina.
Okay. Okay.
And my final pick is Kobe King, linebacker, Penn State.
Yeah, it's funny. We don't have a whole lot of linebackers selected in these mocks. We probably need to acknowledge that a little bit because those are special teams guys that are pretty good. All right, I'm going to see if I can catch up with my draft simulator coming up here in just a second on XL Primetime.
Jaguars and Gators. Gators and Jaguars. Jacksonville's home sweet home of the Jaguars and Gators.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again. The home team is looking for new players on the field, and you're looking to get that old car or truck out of your driveway. I can help. This is John Johnson over at First Coast Recycling. We buy junk cars. Draft us to buy your old car or truck for fast cash. Just call 904-294-1659 for a quick and easy quote from First Coast Recyclers. Come on, let's take your driveway back.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Pizza to T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off. Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
This is Corona Premier. It's the light beer you didn't know was a light beer. Until right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of light. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
1010XL is presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I'm intrigued by this hot dog tower at the Miami Marlins.
So I'm looking at it right now, and the Miami Marlins. And
well, first, before you go any further, you have to go in there with the foundation of the hot dogs are going to suck. That's the foundation. So now you've got 8 other dogs.
So you hate hot dogs?
No, I love hot dogs, but the majority of ballpark hot dogs are not that good.
Okay, let's just distinguish suck versus.
All right,
not that.
You're
good.
right.
Loads,
You're right.
Loads
That's a good point.
of fatty goodness.
That's a good point. Like when you make hot dogs of your own at your house, if you don't just nail it, they suck.
I kill it with hot dogs, but like say Pop or TLD or whomever, they will bring in healthy. And that is a very, very loosely based term.
I was just going to say, what are you
healthy
talking
hot dog,
about?
a chicken-based dog, or whatever it is. Okay,
chicken-based dog.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and so a little healthier. Okay, but don't you take away the fatty goodness that's at it.
Did you just say you have a chicken hot dog?
Yeah. Do
you have like a kale hot dog too that you have?
No, I just
turkey dog.
The chicken, and they're good.
I never had one.
Yeah,
I never will.
Well, listen, if you knew what went into making a hot dog, you wouldn't
it
care if it was chicken or turkey or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want to know those things, man.
No, I'm just telling you.
That's what I'm saying. Fatty goodness.
Yeah,
at the ballpark.
All right, so let's start over and just say
after like 6 beers.
Let's start over. And just, how about if I put it this way? The
How do you
4 hot
spell-
dogs in this tower, okay?
Yeah.
Certainly will not be worth the money that they're charging for it in totality of the 12 pieces.
Here's what you get. You get 4 hot dogs, 4 Polish sausages, 4 corn dogs, loaded
Salchipapas.
Yeah, what is that?
Bro,
that's kind of cool.
I thought you might know.
French fries, sausages, and hot dogs. Salchipapas. I had never
It's like
heard
loaded
of
with cheese, right? And
It's a popular Latin food, especially in Peru.
Never heard.
Made with French fries topped with sliced sausages, hot dogs, and various condiments. Okay, I've seen this at the Colombian restaurant.
Okay, I think that's
they
actually-
love. My wife loves a hot dog with. They eat like chips, like Lay's chips, like on top of hot dogs.
That's exotic.
Yeah, I've
It
heard
is
that before.
exotic.
I've heard that before. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's
Third
awesome.
worldy, yeah.
So saucy and south of the border. I love it. All right, that's
So
good.
does your bride like corn dogs, or is that like blasphemous for her?
I've never seen her eat a corn dog. I know all the jokes are coming in.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they're
now.
flying in right now.
You,
Listen,
I mean, if you can get the right corn dog, like the Texas State Fair's got some good corn dogs, man.
See, again, that's fatty goodness.
I know it
but
is.
Exactly.
I will
a corn
take it all
dog is
day.
American treasure.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
absolutely.
I will
It is.
take
That's what this country was for.
all day.
It is all day.
That is cracker
All
meal
day.
goodness. Okay. If you guys checked out that
Anyway,
hot
how
dog-
much is it? 80 what?
85.
Jeez.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I'll give him 60. I'll go there and negotiate.
I'll give him 60.
Yeah, I'll give you 60.
That was kind of my point with the hot dogs. Like, if you're paying $85 and 4 of the things are hot dogs.
Well, I'll use this as an opportunity
Yeah,
to love
you're
on
right.
the jumbo shrimp that is part of the Marlins franchise, because this is down in Miami that we're talking about. And the jumbo shrimp unveiled a lot of new cool things.
Oh, yeah.
With their menu and all the new areas where you can go hang, and the boats area, all of it's very cool. Anyway, they've got some good new items, so take advantage.
Have
of
you
it.
seen it at the right field?
Yeah.
Lee?
Oh, it's killer.
It's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really nice.
Yeah, the boat ships and all that stuff.
They got a nice kielbasa dog, by the way.
Do they?
Jumbo shrimp. Yeah.
It's
Great
good.
Italian sausage. I love that place.
Yeah.
And if you go to the Jumbo Shrimp like merchandise,
Yeah.
their store, I guess is what some people call it. They have like 1,000 hats. They literally have like the coolest freaking hat collection I've ever seen in my life.
Have you been to that store, JJ?
Yeah, I just went on last Tuesday.
I think they make more money at the store than they do with tickets.
I agree. It's always packed in there.
Just
too.
mobbed in there.
Yeah,
Every inning.
They have
mobs.
great merchandise.
I'm going to put it the Masters merchandise shop of Duval. Okay.
Yeah,
that's the level.
I think you could safely say that, actually. Yeah.
All right. Big Search, we got to have an update.
Halftime score. All right. Not halftime score. End of the third quarter. LSU 38, Florida 37.
Again, we are still down to a 1-point game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that field goal going to end up haunting Steve-O?
It's interesting because Leon said it's the field goals, right?
Yeah.
So they clearly kicked 2 field goals. Spurrier hates field goals.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is he going to end up regretting kicking field goals?
Well, right now he's still in the game going into the fourth.
The way it was,
down 1.
The way it was at one point is that he had 4th and 18, threw a touchdown. They threw a flag, had to play it again. 5 yards further back, said go for it again.
Is that true?
Yes.
What game was that?
Against Georgia, did it 3 straight times with Doring, and every time was a touchdown.
Just to be like an ass? Was it a blowout?
Yeah, they were killing
Might
him.
have been.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, but he just
that was in Sanford Stadium, by the way.
He was not going to kick a field goal.
No. And Georgia couldn't cover him.
Yeah, that was
He
half
knew
a
Georgia
hundred.
couldn't cover him, so they just kept chucking it deep.
Man, run it again.
Those days, by the way, are long gone.
Yeah, instead of run it again.
Long gone with Curry there.
Billy's like, let's try that again. All right, so where are we at? So that is end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter, going into the fourth.
Okay, all right.
It's 38-37.
I think the fact that they're one down is a very good sign.
And I tell you what, he's pulling out some ball plays right now.
Yeah.
Eddie O on the other side, he just put a dip between the cheek and gum, and he's bearing down on it, trying to figure out.
I think we have some helmet communication with Eddie O. Don't you have that, JJ?
Yeah, I'm not.
Thought we had some headset communication.
I'm not going to have that Rafa Salafusa who never got past number 1.
See, that's the headset commune.
He's
Nice to hear,
nervous.
man.
You hear he's nervous. He should be scared, just a little bit. All right, so we'll have the update coming up here in just a second.
What if your Gators win that game?
This would be great for the Canes.
That would be a giant upset.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the upset of the tournament so far, would it not?
Well,
yes.
The fact that the Nebraska Huskers got eliminated in the round.
No, they didn't get eliminated.
Okay.
They're still there, bro. Come on. Don't be foolish.
I'm just checking.
A lot of games have happened, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking. I'm just trying to remember. All right.
You're trying to rattle my cage is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I know, because he still thinks that's the greatest team ever.
I do.
And then this one would be an upset. This one turned college football on its ear a little bit, so we'll see. All right, this is getting interesting. We'll get the final score of the Cersei Sweet 16 coming up here in just a bit.
Taking you from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. This is 1010 XL.
MOV, ING, Southside Kia is moving. Our moving sale is on right now. Help us clear new Kias out. Our current selection's got 200 plus Kias on the lot. Hurry to save big with us. New rides starting at just $20,000 bucks. Plus, bring your tax refund today. We'll double it up to $5K. MOV, ING, get to Southside Kia this spring. Online at SouthsideKiaJacks.com. Get your next ride at Southside. For complete details, call 904-325-9208.
To get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here, and it's time to make those summer break plans. Clay County is calling. From paddleboarding on Doctors Lake to reeling in the big one on Black Creek, or cruising the St. Johns River. There's no better place to dive into warm weather fun. Enjoy live music, local festivals, food trucks, and fireworks lighting up the night. Discover scenic parks, hidden trails, and must-visit local gyms. Your summer adventures start here. Visit exploreclay.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 17, 1983, MLB pitching legend Nolan Ryan of the Houston Astros struck out his 3,500th batter in a game against the San Francisco Giants.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters? You're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. Let's face it, your neighbor Steve still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and there's so many cool products that are on the line at Cycles of Jacksonville. Showroom is Atlantic and Regency, and we're talking, Greg, you've got from any level of price point, the experienced rider to the inexperienced on-road, off-road.
We've got it. We've got ATVs, we've got motorcycles, we've got scooters, we even have the new Honda boats. We've got something for everyone.
Don't forget about the boat line from Honda. It's all right there, waiting for you. Atlantic and Regency or Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since 87.
All right, my takeaway is it's the fourth quarter, a minute to go.
Here we
Fourth
go.
down and 4 at the 5.
Here we go. At the 5, who's got the ball?
Florida's got the ball.
At the LSU 5.
They're down 51-44. Fourth down and 4 at the 5.
Oh, my God.
Snap the ball. Back shoulder fade right there, Anthony. Touchdown.
Oh!
50-51. Spurrier says, give me 2. Spurrier's going for 2 in the game. Goes incomplete.
Oh, no.
Damn it. Damn it, man. Final score, LSU 51, Florida 50.
Oh, what a game.
Those on YouTube can see the double bird that has been at Leon. So you got him right to the doorstep.
Got him right to the doorstep.
And you just ripped it away.
Wait, hang on. We got a quick interview with Eddie Orgeron in midfield real quick right after the game.
Unbelievable.
And I'm glad you didn't have that Rafa Salafusa who never got past number 1.
You're right. That was a well-played game.
Just got him right to the doorstep and then ripped it away from him.
That's an instant classic.
It is true.
We'll probably re-air it later on this week on ESPN.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, at least the Deuce.
Come on now, 101 points scored in the game.
Yeah.
It'll be on a loop from like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Was it like a drop in the end zone? Did he sack the quarterback?
Incomplete.
Oh, it was incomplete.
Did he throw to Riedel again, or was he throwing to Ike?
He tried to. He got pressured.
He tried
Really?
to.
And some were saying...
Wait, who was the pressure? Was it Chase on with the pressure with the bunny hop?
I will not give him that credit.
Some are saying that he alligator armed it, but I'm not going to leave that at the feet of Riddell. That ain't right.
No.
No.
Not to scoring the touchdown.
No.
Yeah. But what about the Stones or Steve to go for 2?
Yeah.
Right, where's the flag, by the way? How come Miami gets the flag? You know?
We didn't get the
Ohio
flag.
State
got a
gets the
flag
flag
against us.
Ohio State gets the
Buckeyes,
flag.
yeah.
Where's the flag
no
there?
flag, bro. This is real
Just
ball.
letting them play?
Yeah, let them play.
Football.
Yeah, let them play.
All
the way through.
So that...
You should be proud of yourself for even playing that well against a team.
That's true.
Legendary
That's very
group.
true, man. That's, yeah.
Yeah, there are no moral victories with Steve-O, okay? All right. Matt, you're next. We got to set up the next game coming up here in a second.
My takeaway, what a game. That's my takeaway number 1. Woo. 51-50. My takeaway is offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Big people. Big people. Let's focus on big people in this draft.
I just want good football players, okay? That's just what I want.
Now you're using my line.
Again, yes. I was hoping you'd discover exactly where I was going with that one. But yes, it's so fun, though, when we're counting it down from this time next week, what it's going to look like, and all the draft boards that we've seen come flying in, either on the text line or just on social, just trying to take a look at all of the possibilities. And you better end up with some good football players, okay, when this is all said and done. And that's the charge of the new staff, is to evaluate and not overrate, because there have been too many of them, Caleb on Chason being a perfect example of looking at a guy, falling in love with a guy because he made a couple plays in a big ball game. I'm going to make this the 10-10 take, because there's a couple of guys in those types of games that have fooled this franchise.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Sonny's will not fool you. They want to offer you a great meal, great price. They got all-you-can-eat ribs right now for less than $20. You can get delicious barbecue, all the tremendous sides. Make sure you check out any one of your area Sonny's. So twice have big plays led to big decisions by this football team in the biggest of settings. I'll take you all the way back to the late 2000s when Derek Harvey made a couple of plays in a big game against the Ohio State Buckeyes. And everyone said, oh, my gosh, this guy's special, yada, yada, yada. Jack Del Rio gets into his GM's ear and says, we need that guy. We haven't had a defensive guy selected in the first round. They trade up into the top 10. They go and get Derek Harvey, and the rest is history. Derek Harvey went from a high top 10 draft pick that they traded up to get into a solid run defender, I think is what he was described as. Fast forward to Caleb on Chason, making big plays and big moments, and Dave Caldwell fell in love with the same type of guy on the same type of stage. That is the 10-10 take. Don't do that. The full body of work is what you need to be looking at. They say that's what they're doing down there, and I hope that's the case. Go look at the entire tape.
Yeah, you got to watch the film. You got to watch the film, especially if you're not going to have any of the visits. So you got to be doing your due diligence as far as film go, which I like. I mean, because, listen, just like the combine, guys interview well, guys work out well, but tape don't lie. Tape absolutely does not lie.
No. All right.
I don't understand the no visits, by the way. I don't get that, because if you're secure in who you are as a scout in your department,
right,
and you guys know what they're doing, all you're doing with these visits are getting to know these guys and seeing and getting eyes on someone away from the combine, away from their pro day, and seeing like, okay, are they going to be a fit for us?
Well, yeah, kind of seeing how they are as a human being.
Yeah. Are they going to be a fit?
Which I think that is important. And I'm not saying just because they're not doing it that it's a great idea. I don't know whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I do like the fact that they are relying on the analysis of what they see from the football player on the football field. That part of it I like. The thing that could happen is that you get in these settings and you get a guy that convinces you of something, and then you might reach for him. Hard to say, personality-wise. Dude, this guy looks like he's going to come in. He's going to win the locker room. He's got whatever. And they might fall in love with a guy more. I don't know. And they may not do this the same way next year. This might just because everything came together so fast that they said, look, we need to drill down on some tape, people. We don't need to be worried about that. I don't know. Just a total guess. I don't know whether it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Well, I mean, they must do things differently now because when my visit to the Cowboys, I saw Jimmy for about 10 minutes and I hung out with the players the rest of the 2 nights I was there.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
and you only went on that one visit.
Yeah,
right?
I went on one visit. I was supposed to go to Philly as well, but no, I went to Dallas, saw Jimmy, and asked me if I was excited about the draft, and then that was it. And I went out with Leon Led and all the other cats. Went out to dinner and
that's funny.
Other places, and and had a great time. So I think now what they do with players, I guess the GM, the coach, maybe the owner, they sit down with the player and get him off his spot a little bit, take him out to dinner, ask him some questions, maybe some personal, what are you thinking about the future? How's the whole, all those kind of things. So, I mean,
what do you eat on a hot dog?
Yeah, that kind of part. So, I mean, I don't see the big deal behind it. I mean, all you're really doing essentially is having lunch with these guys. I'm not sure if you're gonna put them on the big board and put them watching film with them and stuff like that. Just trying to get to know the kid.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could draft a guy that puts ketchup on a hot dog.
I don't mind ketchup on a hot dog.
Not sure I could, man.
A little ketchup and mustard, some onions,
mustard,
barbecued
definitely.
onions.
Remember in the movie Draft Day when they found out no one went to the quarterback's birthday party? And they were like, oh, my God, we can't draft this guy. Nobody went to he's a loser.
Yeah, that does give you a little bit of a tell as far as what
Nobody
the rest
checked on Chaseon's birthday party attendance, did they?
No, did.
Yeah, all right.
That's
so
on Dave.
They also didn't check on his tape either, other than the last 4 games of the last
all you
season.
really need to do is look at that. Not just 2 plays he made, all the plays he did or didn't make.
Well, the last 4 games, he played really well in the postseason from the SEC championship on, I should say, in the playoff, his last season. Other than that, I don't get it. But
all right, Chris.
That's Dave.
Chris over at Beachside says his vegetarian wife makes marinated carrots and grills them as her hot dog.
Wow.
He finishes that sentence or that thought with, yeah, that's my life. Thank you, Chris. I totally dig it, man. You can let her have all the carrots she wants. You can dangle carrots in front of her if you need to, but you better make sure you get you a good brat, a good dog, one that's made from good old beefy fat.
Right, because grilled marinated carrots is
pork
fine.
Fat,
right?
Whatever.
I don't mind that. I bet it tastes really good, but it's not a dog.
It ain't a hot dog. No, sir. No. Look, I'm a member of PETA. I pay.
You're not putting that thing between Martin's, the Martin's potato bread.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No way. No.
I pay every year.
I love
to
that
PETA.
bread.
No kidding, right?
I'm a lifelong member. I keep making my donation every year. People who eat tasty animals. I'm proudly a member.
Yeah.
It's for sure.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I love it. And like I look at that and I'm thinking, okay, you could put that as a side. Like if you give me,
sure, I bet it'd be tasty too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like I like taking the tinfoil and getting a bunch of fresh vegetables and putting them in there and dousing it with whatever the marinade is while either chicken or whatever's cooking on the side, just kind of
100%.
mixing it up.
Yeah.
I love that. That some Peruvian sauce on top of that.
But if you're going to tell me you're going to throw that on top of a Martin's roll,
No.
I'm going to tell you no.
It ain't working.
happening.
Ain't happening.
So how you cook your dog? Do you pan fry it or do you put it on the grill?
I put
you
them
never split it in half and put it on
I
pan
put them
fry?
on the grill. No, I don't split them.
No, I cut them on the on top, like little.
You need to try it.
You
slices on them and put them on the grill.
Listen,
Now, see, I used to do that. I like that.
pan fry. All you
I
do
do
is
like
split it in
that.
half and pan fry it on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it. Put a
Now,
little.
I do like that. You could
little crust.
you could get away with even a piece of Wonder Bread with that fry and sear on that and just drop it in a
You
piece
can,
of bread.
but there's nothing like the dog on the grill that's gotten a little extra crispy.
Well,
nothing
honestly,
like that, man.
I put them on there and I let them crack and pop and open, and they look like sores when I'm done.
Right,
with
you
them.
let them get overdone. You like all your stuff like that. Man.
Might be too much.
My cookbook says just because it's burnt doesn't mean it's bad.
Right.
But the way I cook them now, the whole family's like, just burn them, Dad. Burn them, Pops. I'm like, that's as it
Oh, you
should.
said no smoke alarms. Is what you told me?
I am not. No, that's why I'm cooking outside. I might have burnt a little bit of the soffit above.
The awning.
Yeah, yeah.
May or may not have.
May or may not have. There's definitely one big story with Big Vic on that front. That's for sure. Speaking of burning things.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
So what has he burnt? I'm going to get the embedded and shredded to admit to something.
What hasn't he burnt?
Exactly. Either he ruined a good steak or he rolled a good one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, I can tell you this. I've never burned a steak. I like mine medium rare to rare.
Exactly. Do you like to let it when it moves when you walk by? Is that when you pull it off of the?
I come from a long line of just basically like sear it and it's done.
Yeah.
I'm not quite that extreme.
That's tough.
But yeah, if I like it bloody.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now, will it be a bloody mess next Thursday night?
It shouldn't be a bloody mess. I mean, honestly, it's a new administration, so there's multiple paths they can take, and I think the only thing that I think would be puzzling to me is if they went tight end at 5 and took like Tyler Warren. I mean, that would be something that would be hard to.
Right.
For me, that would be hard to justify.
At that fifth spot.
At the
right?
fifth spot. But I mean, if they go Mason Graham, if they go, best offensive lineman, if they go, Genty, I wouldn't do, but it's not something that I would like bash them for if they.
Yeah, I'm the same way with that.
Chose to go that route.
I'm the same way with that.
But yeah, I mean, what I really just can't wait is to finally have it behind us and to be able to sort of absorb what their plan was, who they went after, and and start to kind of build a book on James Gladstone and Liam Cohen and this administration and in terms of what they're looking for and things like that. Because right now, I mean, it's totally open. I mean, you defer to something the Rams would do, because that's apparently like the
Bible,
club in the NFL. But but other than that, I mean, and again, that's not to say there won't be some differences. I haven't seen any yet. But it doesn't mean there won't be some differences between James Gladstone and Les Snead when it comes to, how to be a GM.
Yeah, and we'll find out whether they change their rules of no visits next year, or we'll see.
I wouldn't anticipate it, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. And again, it's his process, and he deserves to be able to run his process the way he sees fit
I'm not
to
getting
do
in the
so.
way of Harry Potter.
It's just
right now.
It just does open you up late when you're unorthodox. It opens you up quicker to criticism if things don't go wrong. And I don't mean taking like a bad player. Like that's going to happen.
Yeah,
They're going to draft a guy that doesn't live up to the expectations. That's every club in the NFL. But what they really have to be careful of now, in light of not doing the local pro day, not doing the in-person visits, you can't draft a bad character guy.
Yeah.
I mean, because then it's going to expose that. Well, are you is the way you're doing it really the way it should be done? So anyway, but we'll get into lots of Jaguars draft talk coming up on the Frangie Show. Obviously, Florida got some huge news after we went off the air with Xavier Lee's commitment last night. So we'll break that down as well, what that means for the national champions, and a whole lots of other stuff coming up on the Frangie Show.
Sounds good, Hayes. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hayes Carline, Frank Frangie, JJ. He's making sure it all comes together in the 4 o'clock hour, so stick around for that. We did hear news earlier today that Lee Corso is stepping away, so we'll leave you with some Corso sounds. Big Cersei, what's our matchup tomorrow?
All right, we're in the Elite 8 now. Tomorrow we got Florida State 2013 versus Miami 1987.
Oh, wow. 87 Canes, FSU from 13. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Real quick before we say goodbye, High Tide says Burger Creep having hot dog takes is so on brand. It hurts. Never mind. I can't do that other way. We are done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Cersei, and JJ. Hey, Lee Corso, thanks for the memories, man.
I was going with the Gators, but let me tell you something. After looking at these fans, how could you go against these fans? Oh, my cow. How can you pick against SMU? Look at that one there. Red, white, and blue. USA.